All right, so we've talked about making your own videos, getting creators to push your products on their own videos and their own content. Maybe you think, all right, that's it. That's all I have to do and I'm done. Is that the case, Vincent?
Theoretically, you could, but I don't think it's the only things that you should do. So I think two other things to highlight are campaigns and promotions as we keep thinking of amplifying your brand's reach. And both are crucial in reaching consumers and kind of getting them to your virtual shops, right? So I don't think it's a surprise to any of us that limited time offers, discounts, special deals, this creates that urgency, this excitement, and gets shoppers to actually act, right? Rather than just checking out your products, actually buying. And so when you're starting to do your videos or even going live, flash sales, limited time discounts, these are great to really drive like immediate purchases on your shop. So always worthwhile to have to increase your shop's traffic. One thing that I always love to highlight are campaigns, especially when it comes to TikTok and TikTok Shop and those that are joining the marketplace early. These are just time-bound events that help you increase sales, drive shop exposure, gain new followers as well. And there's really two types of campaigns that merchants can take advantage of on TikTok. Those are platform campaigns, category campaigns, but we also have partner campaigns. Well, we'll focus on the first two. But let's dive into them and talk about how they're different. TikTok's platform campaigns leverage the power of TikTok. And so this is really harnessing all of the great features that we have using targeted promotions and discounts. And really this focuses on specific consumer spending trends and seasonal interests. So when you think of this, this could be like deal events during times like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? Other big ones to make it more real are like seasonal events. So think spring and summer sales, back to school, Halloween, fall, things like that, where interest is changing throughout the year. But then we also have done, which makes sense, gifting events. And really the difference here, these are the holidays like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day.
I was getting a lot of, on Valentine's Day this year, I was getting a lot of messages from TikTok about like, hey, we got this promotion going on, or join like this campaign. Yeah,
exactly, because you probably had products that fit it. And that's the great thing is with these campaigns, TikTok is like doing all of the legwork for you, highlighting it, getting these great spots on the shop tab. You start to show up more in the FYP, the For You page, the algorithm with organic. So really great stuff, and just making sure that your products are getting seen. Meanwhile, on the other end, we do have these category campaigns, right? And these are like precisely targeted, where you can kind of achieve business goals with laser focus is the catchphrase we like to use. And these are really more weekly campaigns that go on through and they're cross-category. And so this is great because rather than being a specific category, it kind of brings in a whole bunch. And again, I think the same flavor of enticing merchants with live streams going on, promotions, discounting, etc. And this is really capitalizing on trends, which you may see going on. And so merchants may get messages as well or offers saying, hey, you know, we have AAPI month, we have Pride month, March sports enthusiasm. And so that's how you can kind of think of something having a specific focus, but having some cross category behind it. And this is really to just push specific categories during key shopping moments where they try to focus at that time. So really great. And one thing I wanted to show is how easy it is to stay on top of this before we start talking about promotions that's within you guys' control. So when you're on TikTok Shop Seller Center, your operational hub, we've spent time in the affiliate area, the product area of the menu. Now we're diving into more of a marketing focus. And if you scroll down to campaigns, what I always love to highlight for my merchants is clicking on over here. You'll see maybe different options, but you're able to actually click on the campaign calendar. This is such a great visual way for all of you to kind of know what's coming down in the calendar. So that way, hopefully you can be more proactive rather than reactive. And then of course, kind of like we've mentioned, you'll get messages about these where you can start to participate in the campaigns. But always great to look ahead and just plan out you guys' social calendars as well on how you may leverage some TikTok sponsored stuff.
Like this, Mother's Day, Mother's Slay.
Yeah, they try to be interesting, right? So really great stuff on here. And I always love looking at it because I think the team has done just a great job of looking beyond the major campaigns we're all really familiar with. And there's just like interesting things they'll go in, like March treasure finds. Like, what is that? Now you're able to dive in, hopefully get yourself some amplification through March. So really great stuff in here.
So I actually don't have anything in TikTok Shop yet, but I've actually sold hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last few years of trading cards, like Pokemon cards on eBay.
Nice.
And other things. So like this day, like this collectible trading card day, if I wanted to participate in this campaign, what do I need to do?
Yeah, I think this is great because we've chatted through product opportunities, making sure you're represented there. In a similar vein, right? Like if you wanted to do the collectible trading card day and you yourself know you have this in your catalog, but it's not quite in your TikTok Shop catalog, a great way to make sure it's in there. Also, I think it's great to start to get views, buys behind it. That way, as you start to nominate these to be forward in a campaign calendar, you almost have a better shot of your product being selected and getting these great placements if you're starting to demonstrate success even before leading up to this. So for you, I think it's great to just dive in there early before that February 20th date. And so, regardless of which type of campaign is really catching your eye, right, you have two ways to get involved. One is to nominate your product, and then the other way is to input lives and short videos. And so let's quickly chat about each one. And so when you are kind of involved in a campaign, product campaigns, again, it's around a theme, and it helps you boost the sale of your products. And so if you're interested in participating, really easy. All you have to do is select the products you want, your trading cards, enter the campaign price and the stock that you're willing to put forward for it, right? You don't have to do the all or nothing approach. And then again, the product commission, depending on some of these may have its own commission requirements to input on it. And so once your shop account or a creator that you've partnered with posts a short video or goes live with that, linked to those registered products, customers are actually able to buy these at a discounted campaign price. But TikTok is usually putting forward their own coupons to subsidize that price, which is exciting.
Okay, so let me see if I can wrap my head around this. So
I know it's a lot.
I want to join one of these campaigns and I register my products. Now, does that mean anybody who promotes my product at all during this time period is part of that campaign, or only if they on their end opt in on this campaign?
Only if they on their end opt into this campaign.
And then if they do that, that means I entered my product in the campaign, they selected that, they opted in, and let's say there's like a 5% or 10% discount. You're saying that TikTok is actually subsidizing that. It's not coming from my bottom line. That 10%.
Exactly. Which is what's really great is that you'll notice this throughout Seller Center. As you're clicking around, there's a variety of ways it presents itself. Seller missions, TikTok sponsored campaigns. TikTok's willing to put money to help garner views, really because it's such early days that it's for the success of the platform. So something really exciting for those that I almost call like our early adopters, where you're moving to TikTok Shop kind of before it's extra saturated. So just really enticing offers for those that are the fast movers. So kind of like we've spoken about, campaign prices are the discounted prices that are shown to this by the seller to the consumer. And this is shown to the customers during the campaign period. But one thing we always warn is pay close attention. Sometimes benefits will include the benefits we mentioned, like those TikTok funded discounts. So you just really have to read carefully on the nuance of each one, on whether you're just joining in for the increased promotion, but it's kind of at your cost of that promotion, or if TikTok is subsidizing it. So always read the fine print.
Now, I think something that we all hate from as buyers or consumers from like Amazon or other websites, we see some sellers do this where there'll be like a Prime Day or something and it'll be like 50% off. But what they did was they raised the price like way high. And so it's like 50% off some crazy price. I'm assuming that's not allowed on TikTok Shop.
It's actually
right?
not. Yeah. So what's really nice is the way that we look at it is that the price has to be lower than the retail price. And we actually do look at time horizons to make sure that no bad actors are doing that. And that way, as you start to register for it, as you offer a discount that's either subsidized by TikTok or, at the cost of the merchant just for increased sales, it's a great way as a buyer to make sure that you're not falling for those traps, so to speak.
Now, when I was getting those Valentine's Day emails from TikTok Shop, it was talking about participating like live, which I've never done. So I have never done a live, or I've never had a creator do a live video.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how lives work with the campaigns?
Yeah, it's very interesting. And you can choose which one you want again. You can just do the product or you can participate in a live. And you are actually able to withdraw if you're for some reason figuring out that this doesn't work. But during a campaign, live shopping sessions and shoppable video, they kind of go hand in hand. They kind of are content generated with the hashtags is how it ties all together, and help expand your audience while engaging with putting out engaging content to get new viewers into your shop. And so with this, beyond a product campaign, you'll start to notice a couple of different things. One is a key live video. And these are kind of the headliners of the campaign, so to speak. And typically, really, these are going to get the most visibility. They're spotlighted on the campaigns. They're typically probably seen in some of the email previews. And to be clear, those are usually invite only based on demonstrated success to help push the campaign forward overall. So keep
Invite on the creator side or on my side?
as a brand. So TikTok would invite the brand to those. One, though, that isn't invite only is a live championship. And this is where sellers or creators, like you mentioned, can kind of host these live shoppable videos using the campaign hashtag. What's really cool is it's almost gamified. And so it rewards the highest generating sale live sessions. And so you can win prizes if you generate up. One, it's already great because you generated the most sales, right? But there's incentives where it could be like up to $30,000 where you win just from joining.
A brand?
Thinking,
Or the creator?
For the brand.
Oh, wow.
For participating in that live stream challenge. And that's with lives, right? Kind of like you said, it's a little scarier. Some people don't want to go live. You can't really watch it, play it back, edit it. So the other option is the short video challenge. And this is where, again, sellers or creators, whoever can do it, they can generate exposure and attraction by creating, again, shoppable content with the hashtag. This would just be a shoppable video rather than a live. And this one has prizes up to $10,000 in the same way, if you're the best performing one. Regardless of what you're interested in for the campaigns, really easy. Go into Seller Center, click on marketing on that left-hand side like we saw. And then as you're viewing the campaigns, if we go back outside of the yep, exactly. And if we just scroll down, this is where you'll start to see all of the current ongoing campaigns. So not looking ahead, but what's currently able to be signed in even in advance. And then from there, once you click register now, don't worry, we won't finalize yours. This is where you can look and either register products or sign up for the lives or shoppable video challenges as it's fit. So really great stuff. And you'll see that we clearly call out what's the benefit for you guys? Why even do this? To make sure before you even sign in that this is right for you.
Oh, and I see here the details of like the co-funding.
Exactly.
So like it says here, if I join this one, TikTok Shop is actually funding 10% of this.
A mixed bag, yeah.
Yeah, seller 90%, and then it even gives me what the maximum funding is on this. Okay.
Exactly.
That's
so it's
cool.
like not black and white. There's shades of gray where some are fully funded by TikTok. And we'll chat about how to find those a bit easier. Some are subsidized by TikTok. And then there's others where it's just at the cost of the merchant. And you kind of get to choose your own adventure. We kind of chatted about how it's a mixed bag. Some are subsidized by TikTok. Some are fully sponsored. What's really great is when you're here on the marketing one, this would probably catch your eye regardless as a brand. But at the very bottom, you can actually see some TikTok funded programs. And this is where, as you scroll through, you'll start to see a mix of specifically curated things that are co-branded or co-funded. So TikTok is covering just partial of it. Or at the very bottom of this area, as this starts to refresh for you over time, fully funded programs from TikTok, where you can join programs where TikTok is covering all of the cost. So a really great space to check out. Again, you'll see some of this intermixed within campaigns, but this TikTok funded program is definitely a place I encourage everyone to check out. So we've chatted about how we can have campaigns as well as TikTok funded programs, all in the essence of generating excitement and urgency. The other trick in your bag is you also have control over promotions as well. And so again, as we live here on the marketing section, if you scroll down to promotions, this is great where this is all within your control as you create a promotion. Really price reductions, customer incentives, think free gift with purchase, flash sales. I would say that the most common thing that we've seen, and you can kind of see why it's all the way up at top, is going to be a flash sale. where you can offer a limited time deal to incentivize, quick purchases, get that spike in sales. A pro tip that I don't think people think about as we connect it all beyond just doing a flash deal is think about if you're going live. We've chatted about this. It's kind of scary. You want people to come here. Something that we always recommend is as you're planning a live, market it in advance. And as you market it, plan a flash sale that you're offered during the live. And I think that's a really great way to make people feel better about their first kind of shoppable live stream. Because I think usually the feeling is, oh my God, am I going to be talking for like an hour, 30 minutes, however I dedicate, and no one's there, no one's buying, it was a waste of my time. Taking some of these actions to plan a flash sale, promote it, and only open it during it live. You can also have fun graphics to add above your head as you live stream. A really great way to use both a promotion to generate the increase in sales, have a live stream, and then hopefully as you have so many people on it, it kind of generates and pulls some organic people to join the live stream.
What are some tips as far as that goes? Like, like on all platforms, there's all kinds of like hacking the algorithm or things like, the thing that drives me absolutely crazy, you'll never find me doing this, is on LinkedIn, how people like say, oh, I created this step-by-step process, hit me in the comments and I'll send this to you, because they're trying to like, get all these comments because they know that'll push like a LinkedIn post up, and like, I hate stuff like that. But at the same time, hey, for some people, that's how they make money. That's how they get leads and stuff. So
yeah,
if I'm doing a live, I might want to do some of those hacky things. Like what is it that will get more people to see the live? Is it getting the people to comment? Is it people actually purchasing as we're doing it? Like what are the things? Like how does TikTok, really decide, hey, we need to get more eyeballs on this live?
Really good question. They're always secretive, right? So there's never like a bulletproof trick. But I would say, no, you're exactly right, where I think generating excitement leading up to the live is always going to be successful.
Also, don't just like go live randomly, like kind of like say that you're going to.
But I would say market it in advance. That way your followers can figure out that something's going to go on and they can kind of account for it. Especially if you're offering like a deal only during the portion of the live stream that gets people in there. But you're exactly right. You hit the nail on the head where you should engage with the audience. And that's whether getting them to comment on it or like add reactions, or they can kind of send, through stickers that they're buying to send through to you. A variety of different ways. But that's where rather than talking at the audience, you'll sometimes see as you scroll through, there's a whole live tab. You'll see people saying that where it's like, tell me about what color you bought. Tell me what you want, or like what's next. What product do you think I'm going to highlight next? And just that type of engagement is really what's driving it up, so that others, as they're scrolling through, whether through their FYP or the specific live tab, it kind of feeds into that, right? Like, oh, engagement is high here. Other people are probably going to like it.
Once the live finishes, is it like Instagram, where like on Instagram, if I go live, I have also the option to like put it to a reel or something like that where it stays there where people can watch the replay? Or is once I do a TikTok shop live and it ends, it disappears for the rest of the time?
Good question. Really good question, actually. So I would say that it's probably more similar to YouTube, I think is similar, where you can go live there, but then it doesn't automatically just stay in your channel. So after your live stream ends, in Seller Center, once again, your operational hub, if you actually scroll down to live and video, you'll see two options for shoppable videos, but I think more importantly, live selling. And this is where you get to control having some of those moments that you might want to harken back to. And so it all exists in there for you to kind of play with later and repurpose.
Okay, so we started to drift this conversation into live because I think that is something that's super important. And I am not one of these guys who goes and says, my predictions for 2026 is blah, 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 because none of us know anything. But if you were to force me to make a prediction, I've got to think that live selling is going to become more impactful, because in China, oh my goodness, the live selling in China is just next level. Like, have you ever seen that influencer, that lady who
moves really fast?
Goes through stuff like 5 seconds, like, here, look at this, boom, 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 and she's making like hundreds of thousands of dollars in like money. 10 minutes, and she goes to like 100 products. It's crazy what's happening, and I've just never understood why live selling doesn't take off in America. I mean, America is the originator of live selling, like QVC and those kind of things. And so but I've been reading articles like live selling on TikTok is kind of like the first online live selling that's starting to finally take off. Like I saw Nicki Minaj did one that did like big number of sales and stuff. So let's go ahead and close this module out. And then the next one, let's go a little bit deeper into live selling.